All right, it's Star Wars time, which means we got to put up the Star Wars graphic. I know what I'm
Star Wars
doing.
time.
It's Star Wars time. Breaking news, everybody. Literally, we're doing this post Star Wars Episode 9 trailer just came out today. Tristan, what are your thoughts? And remember, keep it in your pants. Tristan, what are your thoughts?
Well, I guess I just have to leave now then.
All right, I see that I'm unwelcome. Did I post? I want to see if I posted the trailer in the chat. I was doing this live on our Twitch. I did, and also if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, you'll see it in the description box down below. Now, what does Patchy, your cat, think about the trailer? Did she get to see it yet, or no?
I mean, she's watching it right now,
She's
sort
watching
of.
your
Actually, she's watching me. Oh no, she's
watching
trying
it.
to attack my headphones.
Okay, so then she does not seem to be interested in Star Wars, which is a little frustrating. But
It's okay.
I
She'll
mean,
probably sit in my lap and watch it.
in theaters,
I mean, if I
depends on.
if I can't get her to stay home, and
Hey,
she comes with me, she
the,
might. Are you really doing this?
she's
Are you
attacking.
really
She's attacking your
my
sweater.
jacket? Oh,
Oh,
apparently,
your
okay.
Jack. Yes. So, okay. Now this trailer has a lot going on in it. We don't get too much from it, but I think we get just enough, which I'm a little worried about because I'm
You get just enough for the internet to go crazy with speculation.
yes, but I'm super nervous that by the time this movie actually comes out, which is going to be around Christmas time, we will already have another like 2 to 3 more trailers. So honestly, I would love if we just have one more trailer around like September and we
Yeah,
call it a day.
I'd say we'd probably have two or three more, but
I just
like,
wish this is like not the one, but
well,
this is
I'd
such a
say we'd
good
have
one.
like two more trailers.
I just
One
hope, yeah.
maybe Septemberish, and then one probably in December.
I'm just saying that like I've enjoyed this one so much, speculating on what's coming. There's the name though I'm not a big fan of, which we'll talk about in a second. But before that, Tristan, talk to me about some visuals that I didn't pick up the first time. Like one with the,
Well,
um,
where do you want me to start?
all right. You know what? When you said you were gonna leave originally, maybe you should leave. Um,
You can't do this without me.
Yeah, that's fair. This one section, if it's about Star Wars, yes, I need you 159%. Very specific. It's glitched out the need. So,
You need
Jesus Christ. He
me.
just took his, for all of you listening to the episode, you don't have to anymore. Tristan's clearly pushing us all away for his love of Star Wars. No, but
Well,
seriously,
I mean, fine. If you want to leave, then go. No.
Patchy, we looked up, like, do I have to go?
Angie's like, no, you're not putting me outside again.
So, okay, one visual, because I didn't miss the Death Star. It was right there. I mean, literally, it was broken right there. But there was a crashing ship, and behind it, you were discussing something with me that I'm a little confused about. Could you tell me what, like, because there was like a decommissioned station of some type? Please explain what I'm confused about.
The Star Destroyer.
The Star Destroyer, yes. Why is that? Like, I missed it, but like, what? Like, give me some more info on that Star Destroyer.
Well, it's not it specifically, but it's the idea that, well, okay, there's also the fact that it's an Imperial One, I believe it's called, Star Destroyer,
Okay.
which you only ever see those in A New Hope. It's
Mm.
got like a bigger bridge on top, so by the time Return of the Jedi or even Empire Strikes Back rolls around,
Mm.
you don't see that model of Star Destroyer.
Okay.
They switched over to the Model 2.
Right.
So that is an old ship at
Yeah.
this point. Like, in this
Yeah.
point in the movies where we are canonically, that is
Oh,
an old ship.
yes, yes, yes.
So the idea, like, there are a lot of ideas popping up behind it now. And it also looks like it has a red stripe painted on it, like, across one of the decks,
Mm.
which in Legends, whenever the New Republic or the Rebellion would get an Imperial ship, they would paint the Rebellion crest on the side of it.
Mm.
So the
Okay.
idea, like, at least that I agree with kind of too, is that this may be a decommissioned Star Destroyer recommissioned for the New Republic, because in the last movie, or no, even not even the last movie, the movie before that, the New Republic, basically their main fleet was destroyed by Starkiller Base.
Right.
So it's the idea of, are they actually using like old decommissioned ships that they have lying around to buff their navy because
Hmm.
they've got nothing else to use? Or
Yeah.
the other idea that might have some merit is that is this a flashback to the Battle of Jakku,
Okay. One,
which
speaking
is
of,
in the Aftermath trilogy,
got
if you
it.
haven't seen it
Got
or
it.
read it.
Yes. And speaking of ships, even looking at the opening scene of Rey jumping over a TIE fighter.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the music starting. And I believe that's Leia's theme, right?
Yes. It is.
Yeah, that. And then seeing her in the trailer too, I wonder. I thought she wasn't going to be in this movie. I thought they
No.
were.
Yeah, no, they are. She was going to be.
Oh, so, but they still filmed some scenes. I thought they filmed
Yes.
almost no scenes.
They had filmed scenes from episode 8 that didn't get used, and they're using that footage
Oh.
in this story now.
Okay, okay.
Treasure.
Right. So then she probably will have a very small role, if any. I mean, maybe they don't want
Yeah.
to write. Maybe they don't want to kill her off. I thought I read that in an interview, but I might be wrong there.
I
Maybe
mean,
they don't. I mean, I would understand why they wouldn't want to. They don't want real life to dictate that.
right. It's
You know,
going to
like
be difficult no matter how they go about it. And it's certainly going to be emotional.
yeah, yeah. Um, so we heard Luke's voice as a narrator. Do you think that's
Yes.
just as a narrator, or do you think we might see some Forced Ghost shenanigans, especially with the name of the movie?
Well, I definitely want to see Luke come back as a Force Ghost.
Yes.
That would actually be the one thing that would actually piss me off. If Luke does not appear as a Force Ghost, I will be pissed.
I don't think I'm gonna go that hard, but I would like it if,
I will.
because I don't, well, no, because I think that the whole point of the last movie was we're looking at the new generation.
Yeah, obviously, but
Okay. Oh, you mean like a
he
small?
would be
You
he
mean
would
like?
basically be like what Obi-Wan was to Luke in the original trilogy.
Yeah. So you mean like a small cameo of some kind, not like a Luke is helping them out as a Force ghost,
No,
like
no.
ghosting
Like,
through walls and shit.
no, that's
Okay.
no, not how
Okay.
that
Okay.
works.
Okay. No, he could appear to them and tell them like, I've seen the layout of the base.
No, that's not. No.
What do you mean? You're saying you don't want that to happen, but that could technically his
I mean, Force
For-
Ghosts have never been portrayed like that, so it would be very
so then he
odd
can't
if
see
they did that.
anything surrounding him other than the one person he's looking at?
No,
Or
I'm not saying he wouldn't be able to see his surroundings, but like whenever a Force Ghost appears to somebody, it's usually for a conversation or for guidance. It's not like I'm gonna be, the combat ghost
Right.
and go scope out the base for you guys and come back. It's
Well,
like,
that's the
that's
thing.
not how that power works.
Okay, cool. Because remember, I'm not someone who's read anything or seen anything
know.
outside of. So you have to explain that to me, Tristan.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
okay.
why I am.
No, no. You sounded at first. At first, you were like, "Of course he's not going to do that." I'm like, I don't fucking know. But but thank you for explaining it to me because yes, I need to like know the difference between what a Force Ghost is supposed to be versus like, because like usually like my only time thinking of Force Ghost is when they were all like looking on like, look at these rapscallions, they destroyed all the bad guys in episode 6. That's when I think of Force Ghosts, where they're like, oh, look at them, and then one of them's like, wait a minute, you look a lot younger, Anakin. That's what
I mean, you could. The only point, like, the only piece that would argue that Force Ghosts can do more than just the conversation would be when Yoda appeared to Luke in The Last Jedi.
Still a conversation.
Yeah, like he called down a lightning bolt, but it was still a conversation. It's not like then Yoda appeared to help Luke fight the First Order later
Right,
on.
of course, right. No, I'm not saying he's gonna actually like punch someone in the face. I meant like I didn't know what you meant by I would like Luke to appear as a Force Ghost. Like, would you like him to give Rey some guidance for a scene?
Yes.
That's what you mean? Oh, okay. That's literally it. Okay. No, because like you know how some people are online where they're like, I want Luke to have not died. I didn't know if you were because I know like I didn't know if you've accepted his death yet or not.
Oh yeah,
it's hard.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I have, yes, but
Yeah, but still, like it's within the purview of Force Ghost powers to be able to come back and give guidance as they have in the past. Obviously, like with Yoda. Okay, so that's one. Another thing as well is we heard a laugh that I swear to God I'm being serious with you. The first time I heard it sounded like I'm not trying to be mean. I'm being 100% real with you, Tristan.
I know.
It sounded like Mark Hamill doing a faint Joker laugh. I'm not kidding. No, 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 I'm not. Like I was confused.
Okay.
I was like, who is that? And then like I heard like, oh, it's Palpatine, and I was like, oh God, why?
What
So,
what really like
hmm.
and this is a technical term, but what really kicks me in the dick
I'm
about
sorry. Can you explain that? You said it was technical. I can't follow. I think context clues. It
is
really
the
kicks you
fact
in the
that
pants.
you hear Luke narrate, no one is ever really gone, and it's supposed to be, you
A
know,
happy Jedi moment.
a happy thing of like Luke is
And
not really gone, Leia's not really gone, Han's not really gone.
this,
We're all still together, connected by the
so
Force.
so.
And then you hear Palpatine cackle, and I'm
I
like,
mean,
fuck right the hell up.
what's worse, Palpatine's cackle or hearing like Misa Misa? Like I think maybe the Palpatine cackle is probably the best thing we could have gotten.
This is. You're gonna do this to me, aren't you, Matt?
Misa Misa gonna do that to Yusa Yusa.
You're gonna
Um,
have everyone kill me on a stake.
well, look, I'm just God. Steak sounds great right now. I'm kind of hungry, but I'm just saying, Tristan, that so Palpatine's coming back apparently, but
Yeah.
he's coming back. So you can't have Sith Force ghosts though. We were talking about this a little bit before we started. You can't have Sith Force
Yeah.
ghosts.
Well, see,
So
that's the thing. The
what's going
Sith,
on?
it's the funny thing about the Jedi and Sith. The Jedi
Mm-hmm.
are supposed to be completely selfless, but the fact is, like, they can't. It's rare and few and far between. Like, I'm pretty sure Qui-Gon, and he doesn't do it fully, but Qui-Gon,
Mm,
Yoda, and Obi-Wan, and then hopefully Luke too, because he needs to.
yeah.
But they're the only ones that seem to have been able to learn the power to project themselves after passing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be the odd thing that because the Jedi, the self is not what's important to them.
Okay.
So the irony that they can project themselves after death because they are completely selfless, whereas Sith want nothing more than to um,
Rule.
gain power
Yeah.
and empower the self over anything else.
Right.
After death, they
Fuck
they
off.
cannot project themselves after death. Like they're gone.
Yeah. Yeah. But
But in Legends, there have been Sith Lords with a powerful enough hatred or legacy or whatever you want to call it, that they would hang on, that their essence, it wouldn't be like a conversation with them necessarily. It would be more of a feeling of dread or of hatred or of a disturbance, and it would be a dark energy inhabiting that area. Like a lot of them are like in tombs. Granted, there are ones that have had conversations, like in games and in novels, and I
right.
think even in Clone Wars too. There is a scene,
Right.
which is funny because Mark Hamill voices that ancient Sith
But
Lord. And
you
Yoda talks.
mentioned something about being attached to items, kind of like a curse, if you will.
Yeah, kind of.
That's happened.
There's actually something that I saw. Another YouTuber that I watched talking about with the new, well, not new anymore, but the recent Darth Vader comic, Lords of the Sith,
Mm-hmm.
that there was a Sith Lord that could put his essence into a helmet, and then whoever wore that helmet could then project themselves.
Oh God, that reminds me of a lot of other stories. It's so funny that that's in Star Wars as well.
Right.
But my question is
So
this
this
then.
idea that Sith
So
Lords can also come back from the nether realms of the Force is an idea that's bounced around, but it's never been like talked about that, oh, can a Sith have the power to project a Force ghost like Jedi can?
weird question then. So looking at the oldest item that we've seen in Star Wars so far, I'm talking about the movies, not
Yeah.
anything else in the movies. Because normally you would think that would be like the Millennium Falcon, but no, there's items older than that because, of course, 1, 2, and 3 are canon. They're called
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3 for a reason. So despite what people think about some of them, they're canon. So my question is this then. The oldest thing that we have that has any somewhat of a even tiny semblance of a tie to Palpatine is the lightsaber that Rey is currently using. Do you think there's some weird tie-in to that, or you think that it might be more they're going to find an area that he died in,
Yeah,
and
because
maybe he'll be
in the
haunting a
trailer,
tomb?
you do see a piece of wreckage of a Death Star.
It might be
I
the,
I'm thinking it would be the second one.
because that's the one he died in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So
Right.
yeah, I would think if they're going to run into an essence of Palpatine, that it would be there.
Right. Now, how do you feel? Do you feel odd that perhaps, and we don't know about this just yet, but perhaps he might be the biggest villain in all of this? Because, I mean, Snoke, who we thought was going to be a bigger villain, he's gone the way of the dodo. He's gone. So,
Cut to being him cut in half.
yeah.
Um,
So, what I'm
yeah.
confused, so, like,
So
how do you feel about them kind of potentially bringing, because you think that he's going to be the big, because you would think that, oh no, but Kylo Ren's going to be the big bad guy. But when you,
yeah, that's the thing.
I,
I have
I don't know what they're doing with that story. Have they really
I,
closed that off, or are they
yeah,
going? Yeah,
like I've got two different ideas about
mm,
Kylo
right.
because he did do the one thing that Vader never got to do with Palpatine. Like
Fix his
Vader
helmet.
never killed Palpatine and took his power for his own, which is
Right.
what every Sith does basically. He turned away and decided to destroy him, but not for his power, but to save his son and redeem himself.
They get Hayden.
Kylo
They get
killed Snoke in cold blood and said, "I lead the First Order now."
no, yeah. So Kylo killed Snoke, but like, could you imagine you get like Hayden Christensen as the Force Ghost? OMG, so jealous, so jealous. I know that I'm like good now, but I got to admit, part of me is a little bit jealous. Gonna stop being a Force Ghost soon. You will talk shit like that. You might.
Yoda, fuck right off, you will. My God. No, I would like. I mean, I would personally like to see Anakin come back as a Force Ghost and project himself to Kylo and be like, "Listen,
Mm-mm.
this seems oddly similar to what I went through. Please don't fuck up your life any more than you already have. Like, please, just don't."
You have to think about your kids. I don't have any kids. Oh, no ties? Oh shit, go nuts, dude. I thought you had something to really like tie you down, but I mean, you're young, you're in your 20s, go nuts.
But
Run
see,
a galaxy or two.
that's the thing. I wonder if Kylo is going to go like full dark side, like
Hmm.
take control of the First Order, wipe everyone out, like we saw in the last movie, let the past die. I'm making my own decision. This is my legacy. I'm going to make it the way I want it.
I think we're going to have the exact opposite of that
Right.
because of
Or
the title of the movie.
is it going to be some kind of idea that he turned to the dark side for more power, but to then combat an even greater evil, be it Palpatine?
Right. Cuz
Um,
yeah, cuz I'm
because there are ideas from Legends like Palpatine coming back is not the strangest thing I've ever heard. It's been
no.
done in Legends
Of
before.
course, it has to
Everyone's
have.
seen the Dark Empire series, you know what I'm talking
I
about.
mean, it has to have been done before. It's been 20 years. Yeah.
So there is kind of an idea that I thought of like is Kylo trying to prevent that from happening and in the way kind of trying to bring the First Order under his rule and command so that he is ready to combat that because I wonder like with that Imperial One Star Destroyer, if it's not New Republic and it's not a flashback to Jakku and it's present day, what if it is an Imperial remnant led by Palpatine himself?
Hmm.
Because even if you haven't read Aftermath, small spoiler.
Oh
You have
no.
um, an Imperial fleet goes out into the unknown regions of space, and they're basically the contingency plan for making a new empire,
Hmm.
which is where the First Order is supposed to come out of.
But not really.
So I don't, I don't know if then there would be another separate fleet that would be under
Hmm.
Palpatine and be like, "Haha, JK, I told you, I'm
Okay,
still in
okay.
control. Fuck
Right.
off."
Right.
And then it would basically be up to the First Order and what's left of the New Republic to join forces to then combat them.
Okay.
But that's just me. That's the
You
theory
know what?
that
I
I
don't know.
picked up.
I don't know. I think that it's probably because the thing is, the issue with that is only the fact that it seems as if Kylo Ren idolizes his grandpappy so
Oh yeah,
much to the
right.
point where he would think, because he clearly doesn't know shit about shit, he would think like, oh, Palpatine, his friend, and it's like, no, 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 no. Like they told you he was the bad guy and all this. No, he was Grandpappy's friend. He killed him. Well, you lied to me before, so I don't believe anything you're gonna say. Like I don't know. I feel like he does not know history.
Hmm.
He comes off as a character who doesn't know history. Because if he knew history, he would not believe in his Grandpappy's vision.
True, but
Like
I
I feel
also
like
wonder
he's
if the idea is that
yeah.
he's not taking it like I want to finish the work that you've done. Is it the
Hmm.
idea that like Palpatine has not been finished off, therefore I want to help you finish him off, which would be kind of him going down a better path, or is it not?
I mean, you're right. I mean, I think that he's going to go down a better path no matter what because he is the Skywalker. So I don't think they're going to make Rey an on like I don't think they're gonna I don't think Rey is going to be of Skywalker blood now. I really hope that she's not because I think
Yeah,
that the
no,
eighth movie did such a good job of saying anyone can be the hero. I was
right.
hoping she'd be a Kenobi, but if she's not, again, that's fine. She can just be someone who's away from all of this, but still got dragged into this and can still be just as good as the best Skywalker. I hope that that's the case. But you had a theory that the Skywalker name might start to become passed down.
Yeah,
You think
because
that
of
might be a
what
thing?
as the trailer, like the beginning of the trailer, when you hear
Mm-hmm.
Luke narrating,
Yeah.
we've passed down all we know to you,
Right.
1,000 generations. But this is your fight now.
Yes.
So I wonder if, so thinking of with the title in mind, Rise of the
Mm.
Skywalker, if what we see in the last movie, because Luke wasn't, he didn't want to pass on like the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
Like in Legends, Luke makes a new Jedi Order, but in this canon, he's like, no, I don't want that. Done.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Rey would be considered an actual, like by textbook definition, a Jedi. Um,
What textbooks? Yoda burned the shit out of those textbooks.
well, it's funny because
Yeah.
she has those texts with her,
The
and
sacred text.
there is from Star Wars Celebration. I've seen a little bit of it. JJ and Daisy Ridley talk about that. Rey has read some of it. Like she hasn't been able to sit down and be like, yeah, let me read all the ancient texts and see what's going on.
Interesting.
But she has like read a little bit of it.
Right.
So I wonder. But returning to the point before, I wonder if the name Skywalker will no longer be a name, but a title that is passed down to not necessarily Jedi, but
A
Force
hero.
sensitives the hero, who embrace the light side of the
I
Force. Like
think,
that's the
yeah,
whole thing that Kylo brings up too. Like in the idea of letting the past die, the Jedi, the Sith, all the new, the Republic, the Empire, throw it all away. Make
yeah.
a new legacy, make your own legacy. And I
Right.
wonder if adopting the name
Mm-hmm.
Skywalker, but making it a title for a
Yeah,
hero
it
in the galaxy.
it would be interesting because I mean, with where they are right now, it just kind of makes sense that they would do that. Because again, like we're not going to bring Luke back. We're not. It would be odd if Kylo Ren becomes the biggest hero and then he is the rise of him as a Skywalker. It would be odd if this is a Kylo centric movie only because I think we had the opportunity to have him not become completely good, but at least become an anti-hero. But it seemed like in 8 he just became full baddie from the looks of it. I don't think he went anti-hero in my opinion. It felt weird.
Yeah,
So I think in this case, I'm not saying he can't be redeemed still. It's just a
right.
thing where like when you do that in 8, it seems like
Where
he
we
could.
stand now, it's like,
I don't know if Rise of the Skywalker is referring to him is what I'm trying to get at. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Palpatine coming back only because it's not the issue of him coming back. I just was hoping we could have a stronger main villain without it having to bring back Palpatine.
Right.
Because the big twist in Solo is cool because that's a prequel. So like we can't introduce someone too new because then we know they'd have to die. So it's cool to bring back a character we once thought was dead for Solo. That was actually fun. And I hope that there's maybe some more Solo stuff on the Disney Plus streaming service. We'll be talking about that story a little bit later. But when you look at Palpatine, again, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense that he's back, but I hope that he's a he's a he's a small part of the film, and the larger narrative is about Kylo being bad, but maybe even turning good potentially. Even though I'm saying that, it feels like that's already been solidified that he's bad. I hope that I don't know. I just want I want there to be a narrative, because the thing is, if Palpatine comes out of potentially nowhere, at least even though the seeds that people can come back is there, still you didn't have to just choose Palpatine.
Right.
Like it's not like everyone. If you've been watching, in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong. If you've been watching 7 and 8, hearing Palpatine in this trailer was a shock. It wasn't like, well, of course. I mean, obvious. Like no.
Yeah. Personally, I was shocked when I heard that. I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, I did not expect that either. So I hope. So I'm hoping. I'm hoping that the narrative is more surrounding the young blood, the new heroes, versus like even with the Billy D. Williams appearance, which I'm super happy about.
Right, that was the other thing I was going to say. I am also super happy about
very
that.
happy, but
Falcon with Chewie, that was.
Have you seen the picture going around where it's like, "Give me back my ship over my dead body," and then you see the Billy D. Williams with Chewie? I'm like, that's rude but accurate.
My God.
It was a clip from Solo. If you guys didn't get to see that, we reviewed it. But anyway, so as we're wrapping this up, I just want to say that not the biggest fan of the name, only because I mean it's not ambiguous to me. I just don't know. I mean, I guess you could argue it is. I don't know who the Skywalker is in this case. So I'm not the biggest fan of the name. I like, even though this wasn't in the trailer itself, apparently they're going to take a break after episode 9. So I'm super happy about that. We're not going to like jump to episode 10 next year.
Right, yeah.
We don't know what next year will bring, but it won't be episode 10, which I'm super happy about. Also, Palpatine is a big twist that I'm interested in, but I hope he doesn't dominate the film. I hope that he is a part, maybe an essential part, but not a huge portion of it. Right. I hope that the scenes with Leia can tell a story that doesn't seem like it is copy pasted from unused clips of episode 8. I hope it's weaved in naturally, because again
I think they did like I think everybody working on it wants to make sure that was done properly, and I trust the fact that they will do that.
I hope so. Just rewrites are a terrible thing this late in the game, and I hope that I hope that it really, it serves as a fitting conclusion, because even though they say they're going to take a while, I would hate if it seems like this trilogy is not finished with these characters. I know there's tons of different ways to make different shows about them and stuff like that on the Disney Plus streaming service, but I hope that this movie concludes their 3-movie arc and we feel a sense of completeness, if you will, a fulfilled sense, so that we did when we saw 4, 5, and 6, and we saw 1, 2, and 3. Even if we didn't like what was in some of those, all 6 of those movies, there's like little bits here and there that some people aren't the biggest fans of, but you still felt like they were finished. You could move on. 6, you felt like you could move on. 3, even though it went into 4, obviously you felt like it was done. I hope that this does that, because it's something that does worry me in the age of, anything being able to, sequels and reboots and adaptations and all this stuff. I'm worried that there will be somewhat of an open end of some type. And it's like, no. I want to feel like, not that Rey could never come back, but if we see a Rey 30 years from now, it's fine, but it's not going to be a situation where, we're going to see, like, they're going to go 30 years in the future next year. They're going to have to recast Rey or something like that. Like, no, like, I want this to feel like we've seen everything that they have to bring to the table. Maybe the order falls. I assume it falls. Maybe the order changes for the good. I don't know. We'll see. You know, they're still like the order, but we're the chill order. I don't know. I don't know. Like I would. We don't know too much yet, and I'm happy with where we are right now because I'm still very intrigued about where the movie's going.
I'm also happy to see Poe and Finn back. Um,
Yes.
and I really hope we get to have, because it looks like the three of them are going to be together for this movie, as opposed to them all being split up for
Yes. So yeah.
basically the last two.
Yeah. So I hope that they're thick as thieves in this one. It would be
Yeah,
nice.
I would really like to
Yes.
see that, because I mean their actors all are
Yeah.
probably really close friends at this point after filming all of these together.
Yeah.
Because
So
there
yeah.
was a picture going around of the three of them
Oh
just
God,
in a hug
crying.
after wrapping up filming, and I was
Yeah.
really happy to see that. So
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And tell me what you guys think about all of this stuff down below. Keep it civil. Keep it civil. But tell me what you guys think about where this movie might be going. What do you think about this movie? All of that stuff down in the either in the chat if you're watching us live on Twitch or in the comment section down below.